各位记者朋友，大家下午好。
Good afternoon and welcome to the press conference. Now the floor is open to questions.
Global Times, Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi's erroneous remarks on Taiwan is met by outrage from the Chinese people. There are, however, individuals in Japan who claim that it's the Republic of China rather than the People's Republic of China who accepted Japan's surrender. So the PRC is not in position to discuss the question. What's your comment? The ones who make such claims either do not know the history or deliberately seek to distort it and disregard international law. In 1945, Japan signed the instrument surrender, explicitly undertook to carry out the provisions of the Potsdam Declaration in good faith, and unconditionally returned Taiwan to China. China resumed exercise of sovereignty over Taiwan and recovered Taiwan both in law and in practice. In 1949, the PRC government replaced the ROC government. This is a change of government in which China as subject under international law didn't change, and China's sovereignty and inherent territorial boundaries stay unchanged. Thus, the government of the PRC naturally and fully enjoys the exercises China's sovereignty, including sovereignty over the Taiwan region. In the 1972 Sino-Japanese joint statement states that the government of Japan recognizes the government of the PRC is the sole legal government of China. There is only one China in the world, and Taiwan is an inalienable part of China's territory. This is an ironclad fact and shall not be banned or distorted.
谢谢发言人。日本广播协会提问。
NHK. According to China's readout, President Xi Jinping had a phone call with U.S. President Trump yesterday night. Did China or the U.S. propose the call? And when did the phone call last? And what's your comment on the phone call?
任期以来。
Since President Trump began his second term, the two presidents have maintained interactions on a regular basis. As far as I know, the phone call was initiated by the U.S. side, and the atmosphere was positive, cordial, and constructive. Communication between the two presidents on issues of mutual interest is highly important to the steady development of China-U.S. relations. Next one, please.
BDI，
英保托，一位印度公民，在社交媒体上表示，他从伦敦到日本，但是在上海拘留了18个小时。他来自阿鲁纳恰尔邦，主要是因为他的护照无效。关于阿努拉恰尔邦，他是从上海转机的一位印度公民。你能解释一下为什么他会在机场受到如此待遇吗？同时，印度的领事官员呼吁将其释放。中方对此有何评论？
南地区是。
First of all, Zhangnan is China's territory. China never acknowledges the so-called Arunachal Pradesh illegally set up by India. As for the individual case you mentioned, we've learned that during the whole process, China's border inspection authorities have gone through the whole process in accordance with laws and regulations and had just enforcement and fully protected the lawful rights and interests of the person concerned. There's no so-called compulsory measures, detention or harassment. The airlines also provided a place for rest, drinking, and food for the person concerned. For specifics, I'd refer you to competent authorities. Next one, please.
Good afternoon, Bloomberg News.
彭博社关于中美元首通话，美国和日本元首也进行了通话。讨论了日美同盟、地区局势以及双边关系，有一些还没有宣布。中方对于高市早苗和特朗普的通话有何评论？ 以及他们对于台湾问题的立场。
美日领导
The phone call between the US and Japan is a matter between the two countries. I have no comment on that. On the Taiwan question is China's internal affair and brooks no external interference. Next one, please.
A follow-up on what?
印保托追问刚才那一个问题，印度提出了交涉，印度拒绝了中方在阿鲁纳恰尔邦的立场，中方对此和评论。
关于印
On the so-called Arunachal Pradesh, illegally set up by India, China has repeatedly said our position. Jiangnan is part of China's territory. China does not recognize the so-called Arunachal Pradesh, illegally set up by India. As for the individual case, I've just shared information on that. Let me reiterate that to having border control examinations on the persons entering our borders and making decisions according to individual cases is the usual practice of border control authorities of various countries.
自从上2周中日关系恶化以来，中方暂缓了日本电影上映的时间，同时日本音乐家在中国城市包括北京的演唱会取消，这是中方的回应吗？这是对于日本文化进入中国市场的要求吗？以及这一禁令会持续多久？
中日之间的
Recently, exchanges and cooperation between China and Japan are affected. The reason is the erroneous remarks of Japanese Prime Minister on Taiwan. This hurt Chinese people's sentiments and dampened atmosphere for China-Japan exchanges. Japan should correct its wrongdoing and stop creating trouble on issues related to China. Next one, please.
谢凡人，中国新闻社记者提问：本周禁止化学武器公约第30届缔约国大会在荷兰海牙举行，中方向大会提交了关于推动禁止化学武器主。
The 30th session of the Conference of the States Parties of the Chemical Weapons Convention is being held in Hague. China has submitted China's position paper to the conference. Could you share more information with us? The OPCW is an important pillar of global security governance. Since its establishment, the states parties have forged historic achievements in chemical weapons disarmament and international cooperation in the spirit of multilateralism, solidarity, and cooperation. In recent years, the OPCW has seen a growing tendency toward politicization and division. Dialogue and consultation is diminishing while confrontation and opposition is increasing. The authority of the Chemical Weapons Convention is eroded, which has caused concern from states parties. China's position paper, guided by the Global Governance Initiative, calls on all states parties to adhere to the purposes and principles and objects of the Chemical Weapons Convention, uphold multilateralism, maintain the tradition of consultation, address hotspot and controversial issues through dialogue and consultation, safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of developing countries, and enhance solidarity and coordination. We look forward to working with all states parties to build up consensus and promote the OPCW to play a bigger role in global security governance. Next one, please.
Question from Nippon TV.
日本电视台据报道，中国驻日大使会见了日本外务次官，双方讨论了什么内容？中方对此何评论？ Could you repeat your question? I can't listen to the first part of your question.
It is reported that
据报道，中国驻日大使吴江浩今天会见了日本外务省次官，双方讨论了什么？
具体
I'm not aware of the specifics of the meeting, so after I learned more about the meeting, I will give you a response.
Today, the Japanese government.
今天日本政府对于日本议员进行了回应， 主要是日本应对外部威胁的反应，表示日本关于外部极端情况的立场没有改变。中方是否接受日方表示他们的政策并没有改变的这一说法，或者中方希望日本采取更多措施？
日本官方最近多次
The Japanese authorities have repeatedly claimed that the Japanese government's position on Taiwan question remains unchanged. So we have asked Japan repeatedly what is the specifics of this consistent position. Can the Japanese side unequivocally state this consistent position? In fact, Japan is evading this request of China for Japan to retract the wrong remarks. So the international community has to question whether Japan has the sincerity and the intention to correct its mistakes. Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any more questions?
那好，今天的
That concludes today's press conference. Thank you for coming.